What's up YouTube, Gemini Johnny back again with another compilation of some of the wildest TikTok conspiracy theories I can find. We'll be dropping a deep dive video, I think on Sunday, maybe next week, coming soon on conspiracy theories in the background and the history and ones that were actually true and ones that might still be true. Yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Gym Crew shirts are live, check that out, it's in the shop below. That's enough talking. Hey, see, I need a haircut. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right in.
The Rothschilds, one of the richest and most powerful families in the world. Yet they were extremely nervous when they were asked what they do for a living.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. I love your Richard Mill. What do you do for a living? It's for our Metro.
Perhaps it's because of all the blood on their family's hands, or perhaps it's because they were heavily linked to the Illuminati. They are part of the elites. We all know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool that they do their little sit out on a bench and film our content thing together. Let's put our button-ups on and go to the park, film some content. I do like when people throw these large allegations at these famous families with zero evidence to back it up. I mean, I don't know, there might be evidence that they were linked to those things, but they certainly didn't present any of it. That being said, what's his name? One of the Rothschilds just passed away. I mean, yeah, obviously the conspiracy theories going back about the Rothschilds in the Illuminati and being the Illuminati and all that. But I was doing some digging on this topic a long time ago before I ever had any inclination to make a video about it. But just out of curiosity, I was like, is all this stuff true? Who are these Rothschilds? You know, did some investigating. I can't remember the names. I could probably go find them, but I don't feel like doing that right now. Somebody in a not the best source of information, but if you look into these people, it was actually legit. Somebody in a Reddit thread said something that was talking about the Rothschilds or something. I think it was on the conspiracy theory Reddit. It sounds right. And I don't remember exactly how they worded it, but basically they said something to the effect of, when it comes to the families that rule the world, if you know who they are, they're not the people who rule the world. That's who they let you think rule the world out of ours. And then they gave a list of 5 families that go back to like ancient Italy that have been allegedly running the world for all of known history, pretty much. Not actually, but since like the 300s or something. And yeah, I don't remember their names. Somebody in the comments of this video, I'm not saying this is one of those families. I want to be very clear about that. But somebody just said the Orsini family, Orsini. Let's go see who the heck that is. Oh, it's a lot of the popes. The House of Orsini is an Italian noble family that was one of the most influential princely families in medieval Italy and Renaissance Rome. Members of the Orsini family include 5 popes. In addition, the family included 34 cardinals, numerous condottieri, or Italian captains in command of mercenary companies during the Middle Ages, and other significant political and religious figures. According to their own family legend, the Orsini are descended from the Julio-Claudian dynasty of ancient Rome, which was comprised of the first 5 Roman emperors, Augustus, Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, and Nero. That'd be pretty cool. It's actually what my 0.9% Italian is. It comes from that too. The Julio-Claudian dynasty. I come from those guys. I just made that up, but you can't tell me it's not. Look, I don't encourage lying, but I'm just saying, like, stuff like that, it's like, what's anybody gonna do about it? Yeah, I'm descended from the Julio-Claudian dynasty. Google it.
Pay attention. This was about a year or 2 ago at the Panther Stadium. Just pay attention to how advanced AI technology is.
It's not AI technology though.
Do y'all see this? This even on the Carolina's Panthers website. Carolina unveils mixed reality Panther before the game. And then, you know, they got stuff like this too that's going on.
I don't know what that is, but that's something in the sky right there. Over here in Harlem.
That shit like very entertaining how like y'all can make shit seem like it is, but it's not there. I'm just saying y'all go put 2 and 2 together. Go look at the Project Bluebeam. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
I mean, the point he's making, I don't disagree with the point he's making, but yeah, the Panthers, or the Panther at the football game or whatever. I mean, yeah, it's like using the SpongeBob covering the Super Bowl or the slime on the like, why didn't he use those? To be fair, he posted this. This is from last August, but you know, Has he made another video where he's talking about, look how crazy the AI is at the Super Bowl. They got SpongeBob on the screen. You see how realistic this looks? That looks like SpongeBob on the screen. It's like, bro, what? Relax. The thing is, though, Project Bluebeam was real, and they absolutely could use hologram technology and how good it is these days against people. Like, they could use it to fake a bunch of stuff. That's definitely a possibility. The augmented reality panther. Has anybody... Did this guy never play Pokemon Go? He doesn't know what augmented reality is?
So I poured it out in my bowl, and out comes this paper that was all folded up just like this.
The note contains a mashup of words and references to current events and conspiracy theories. Miller says his big concern is that somehow a note made its way into a sealed food product.
I don't know what's inside the cereal or if this note was laced with anything. It's not the note that really bothers me, it's just these notes are found inside food. So I poured it out in my bowl, and out comes this paper that was all folded up just like...
They're magically suspicious. Somebody said they're called Schuylkill notes. Schuyllkill. Let's look it up. Schuylkill notes are cryptic messages printed on little pieces of paper, appearing in many locations in Pennsylvania. Authorship of the notes is unknown. Oh, dude, that's somebody mentally unwell, dude. That is not the notations of someone who is well. Yeah, so it sounds like they probably just got like a mentally unwell person in their community going around putting those notes in things. Just kind of scary. But, you know, some people are mentally unwell. State of the world we live in, unfortunately.
Our projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance, the human power elite.
They do say, you know, predictive programming. They do say they put these not so subtle messages in our movies. But again, can't really rule out that it's also possible that the writer just is a fan of conspiracy theories and worked it into his movie. Or her movie. I don't know what movie it is. The movie's called They Live. It came out in 1988, 35 years ago. It stars Roddy Piper. All right, Keith David, Meg Foster. I don't know who any of these people are. Other than Roddy Piper, I don't recognize a single person on that cast list, but out of curiosity, I always like to see who the producers were. Written by John Carpenter. All right, nothing really that interesting, so.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. This shows all the conspiracy theories in the world, from the most well-known to the darkest of the dark, that will literally change your life. Most of you already know by now, but if you're new here, in this series we're going from the top to the bottom. Today, guys, this is a banger. You won't see life the same, you won't see kids the same, and you probably won't be able to sleep for a long time. So, let's go. This is rebirth theory. Probably the biggest theory out there is what happens when you die. One theory for it, believable, and will have you thinking for a long time. For a lot of people who have died and come back to life, you know, people describe the light at the end of the tunnel. So, this links into reincarnation theory as well, actually. What if that light at the end of the tunnel is actually the hospital light? Stay with me, hear me out. It's actually you being born. What do babies do when they come out? They cry. They cry and they scream. So what if the reason you cry and you scream when you come out is because you remember everything that just happened? You remember just dying. You remember seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and now suddenly being alive again, and you know exactly what happens after death, but you can't talk. You can't tell anyone. You're still a baby now. Then what if slowly as you grow up, the memories fade away and you forget everything? We may have all lived tons of lives. We may have been reborn hundreds and hundreds of times, but we won't remember, ever. Only for that faint few seconds when you're first born. Boom.
It really makes you wonder about like kids that talk about past lives and know things about past lives. There was that one kid that knew details about the Titanic, that other kid that like knew details about somebody's house burning down or something like that. But, like things these 2 and 3 year olds have no way of knowing, but yet they give intimate details about them. Those are always the trippiest things to me. But yeah, that could be. It reminds me of being John Malkovich and him crawling through that tunnel. Let's get into the inside of his head.
Want to know what you missed? Well, you're distracted by Jeffrey Epstein documents and G-Side in the Middle East and aliens in Miami. One of the world's most infamous conspiracy theories stopped being a theory. And I am talking about the McDonald's ice cream conspiracy. And oh boy, is it bigger and more sinister than you might think. And this case is direct evidence, proof even, that corporations engage in conspiracies for their benefit against us. And this one's fun and it's spicy. So I'm going to briefly catch you up on the basics of the McDonald's ice cream conspiracy theory, and then I'm going to fill you in on the new lawsuit that sheds light on what's really going on. And this one goes right to the top, to emails sent by CEOs. So I'm sure you know that McDonald's is famous for having their ice cream machines down all the time. And it became so common throughout the 2010s that it became a meme. Mainstream news outlets started reporting on it, and people all over the internet started speculating on it. See, McDonald's ice cream maker is made by this company called Taylor, who's been making McDonald's equipment since McDonald's was founded. And if you own a McDonald's, you are required to use this ice cream machine. Jonny Harris made a great video about this a couple of years ago. Highly recommend you watch it, and it'll catch you up to speed to this new lawsuit that just came out right at the end of last year.
Mind-numbing 100-page instruction manuals for ice cream makers. I started talking to McDonald's franchise owners and managers, and yes, it turns out there is something really weird going on.
And when Jonny read through all those service manuals and read through a bunch of the financials, he discovered something interesting. In 2017, Taylor claimed that 25% of their revenues comes from recurring service, i.e. fixing the machines. According to the stats in this report, that would be $78.75 million a year. But in another report from the company, he found them claiming that actually they make $170 million a year just from maintenance and repair. The entire business model of this company is to put out a faulty product that franchisees are required to use and then to charge hefty fees to repair it constantly. But that is just the start of this. Because a startup named Kitch actually designed a product that you can plug into this ice cream machine, and it will hack the ice cream machine's computers and fix the problems for you. It connects to a phone app so you don't have to deal with their stupid little screen, and you can see exactly what's wrong and fix it without calling the repairman. And you can imagine how Taylor felt about that. And this is where we go into straight up conspiracies. Not conspiracy theories. I'm about to read from court documents. So here's a lawsuit filed in 2021 where Kitch sued this dude who's a McDonald's franchise owner and laid out the dirt. This case is about corporate espionage and the extreme steps one manufacturer, Taylor, has taken to conceal and protect a multi-million-dollar repair racket. Kitch soon uncovered a repair racket whereby Taylor designed flawed code that caused the machines to malfunction. So Kitch designed this revolutionary new technology that would fix this problem, and it was worth millions of dollars, and they had to test it out on actual McDonald's machines. But they knew that various companies would try to steal their data, so they created a whole bunch of legal firewalls and NDAs and were very careful about who got their hands on this new Kitch product. And it was for good reason, because Taylor tried to steal it 3 times. First, one of Taylor's distribution managers tried to purchase a device, but Kitch's security protocol flagged and blocked the purchase. Then, a lawyer employed by Taylor's outside counsel attempted to purchase the Kitch solution. Kitch blocked the second attempt. After that, 2 private investigators associated with Taylor used aliases and dummy email addresses to get their hands on the device. Once again, Kitch canceled the orders. They literally hired corporate spies to use fake names to try to get their hands on this software. And when all of that didn't work, they found a McDonald's franchise owner to collaborate and collude with. Everything changed after Tyler Gamble, a major McDonald's franchise and leader of the group that works to introduce new products into McDonald's restaurants, enrolled in the Kitch trial. Gamble approached Kitch and explained that he was the head of McDonald's equipment team, and at first, Gamble appeared to support Kitch's mission. Kitch is informed and believes that this was a ruse. Now we get to the parts of these documents from the court that are fully redacted. Like, I spent the first month of 2024 reading Jeffrey Epstein documents, and McDonald's documents are just as redacted. I think this is because it's proprietary information about Kitch's software inside of here. But anyways, back to this franchise owner, Gamble, who got into the Kitch trial and got his hands on one of their machines and then started using it in conjunction with Taylor, the company, to reverse engineer their technology and to make their own product. During the case of discovery, Kitch later examined that machine and discovered that Gamble's Brownsville device was connected to the internet. Again, if they had taken it off the internet for a long time to do things to it, who knows? And when it connected back to the internet in 2021, its SD card was 90% full. The device log indicated that someone had been accessing the Kitch Solutions device, and the device had been powered on and used for weeks after going offline. However, according to the device log, the cables were disconnected periodically, so the device could not retrieve information or connect to the internet. I.e., they took this device, by stealing it from the trial, and then they unplugged it from the internet so it couldn't tell Kitch what they were doing, and then they worked on it in secret to try to reverse engineer it. And then lo and behold, a new product hit the market from Powerhouse Dynamics that was basically an exact replica of Kitch, but not as good. And surprise, surprise, Powerhouse Dynamics is owned by Middleby Corporation, the same company that owns Taylor. You know, this Taylor that makes the ice cream machines? Probably just a coincidence. And now we're caught up to what just happened. But what's the new scoop, you ask? See, back when Kitch was gaining traction, right before their trials got infiltrated, McDonald's had sent out this email warning franchise owners not to use Kitch because it wasn't safe. This was the email where they threatened to void all warranties if you used a Kitch device. They said that it was allegedly really, really dangerous and it's going to turn on while you're repairing it and it'll rip your hands to pieces, despite the machine itself having fail-safes in place to not allow it to turn on when it's open for repair. And then in all bold, they said, as such, McDonald's strongly recommends that you remove the Kitch device from any machines and discontinue all use. And is reminding you, da-da-da-da-da, you get the point. But as it turns out, they uncovered an email from the CEO of the Taylor parent company, Middleby, the guy in charge, that was straight up mafia code language for someone killed this product. Quote, not sure if there's anything we can do to slow up the franchise community on the other solution, i.e. Kitch. Not sure what communications from either McD or Mid can or will go out. Like, who knows? Like, maybe it would be a shame if something happened to the other solution. And just about 2 weeks after he sent that email out, Donald sent out this email. This is the guy, the CEO of Middleby, Dingleberry, I don't know the name, whatever the name of the company is. He gets paid $9.5 million a year as the CEO. And it's looking like Kitch might win their $900 million lawsuit against McDonald's because they collaborated with this scumbag at the expense of all the franchise owners to the tune of millions of dollars of repair money every year, to the tune of an average of 15% of all McDonald's ice cream machines being out at any given time.
Again, is this a deep conspiracy? Is there like secret backdoor deals going on? No.
See, Johnny Harris and a lot of other mainstream journalists love to do this thing where they show you every part of a conspiracy theory and then they try to be like, see, it's not a conspiracy. It's just normal business. But actually, Johnny, it's looking like there are secret backdoor deals going on. Actually, this is the definition of a conspiracy. This is called corporate espionage, and it's a tactic regularly engaged in to take out competitors, to monopolize markets, and to screw everyone over for the corporation to make more money. So, just one more reason not to buy McDonald's.
Whoa! I know that was a long one, but dang, that's crazy. There's a whole real conspiracy for you. Yeah, I mean, I don't put it past corporations as big as McDonald's to be doing stuff like that. That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm surprised they got caught. I'm surprised somebody pieced all that together. Shout out to Kitch. They'd never invented their device. This might have just gone on forever. It does make you wonder what other corporations make their products malfunction after a set period of time or, you know, after a little while so that you have to come back and buy their stuff. I think Apple had to come out and admit that they do that, right? They said that their performance goes down on their older phones as their newer phones come out. Yeah, I'm sure they all do it. They want you to rebuy their stuff every few years. They don't want you to... If you buy one product and then you never have to buy it again for the rest of your life... I've got a Carhartt backpack sitting over there. I know I will never, if I just want to use that backpack for the rest of my life, I don't think I'll ever have to buy a backpack again for the rest of my life. And on one hand, Carhartt's never going to get me to buy another backpack. On the other, I don't know, if I do have to buy another one, I'm probably going straight to Carhartt for another one. This is not a sponsor by Carhartt. I don't even really rock with them that much. It's like that backpack. And I have one of their coats. I think some of their overalls. Oh, because it's Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I think it used to be Chic-fil-A, right? Because it was I used to always make a joke about it in my head. Or it was C-H-I-K. Because that was the whole marketing thing with the cows eat more chicken, C-H-I-K-I-N. But that being said, I mean, I don't really think that this is one of the like Mandela effects. I think this is I think they just switched their name, probably, right?
What's a conspiracy theory that absolutely blows your mind?
I read one the other day that said that 36% of all U.S. presidents have made contact with aliens at least once, starting with George Washington. and that every U.S. president since Grover Cleveland has met with them in a city called Telos in Mount Shasta, California. And this ancient city is actually connected to Middle Earth. And the reason they went to Middle Earth was because two ancient alien factions got in a nuclear war. And the reason they went to war was because one of them wanted to enslave us to mine gold. This nuclear war actually resulted in the death of Mars and almost resulted in the death of our planet. But instead, it caused Noah's flood. The aliens that didn't want to leave Earth went down to Middle Earth, where they reside to this day, but they're waiting for us to reach 5D so they can invite us into their world.
Where did he get 36% from? I think it's highly likely that governments around the world are in contact with aliens. I think we have been. I don't know about since George Washington, but I think probably since at least 1947. And they're just doing disclosure now because we're allowed to. I don't think we hit 5D, but...
Rihanna made a horrible mistake at her halftime show by reinforcing the crazy conspiracy theory that the Super Bowl is actually a live satanic ritual hosted by the elites to show off their power and influence to the peasants watching. And that every year the performer must flash the crowd a demonic or evil symbol of the Illuminati if they want to perform. Beyonce put up the same exact symbol to the crowd at her Super Bowl halftime show and was all over the news the next day for it.
Conspiracy theorists believe that Beyonce signaled that she's part of a secret society bent on world domination.
Some claim that's just the Rock Nation symbol, but why would other celebrities who aren't affiliated with Rock Nation at all flash it? Stop making excuses for them! At Justin Timberlake's 2018 show, he had a giant silhouette of Satan laughing at the crowd with his tail. They played it off like a guy playing the guitar. At Madonna's 2012 show, she was moving her body to show symbolism and wearing the Illuminati owl crown on her head. This was insane. J-Lo's costume was showing this evil satanic goat and she was showing the horns with her head too. Look at her costume though. You can't tell me those are two eyes and a nose and then antlers going up. The Weeknd's dancers are literally wearing such similar outfits to the exact same ones they would do in a satanic ritual. You can't tell me that whole thing didn't look demonic as hell. Literally. Before I show you the craziest part, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each of these celebrities and be in the know and request who you want to see next. Have you ever wondered why the Super Bowl is even called the Super Bowl? Because if you just move over the B, it actually spells superb owl, which is the... Seriously though, the same exact demonic owl that Madonna was wearing on her head and one of the main species of animals that symbolizes satanic worship.
I mean, I can't speak for all the rest of that, but I actually, randomly enough, just watched the Prince halftime show from the Super Bowl in like, I think 2001 or something. No, probably not. But I don't know, it doesn't matter. And I'm pretty sure that's a tribute to Prince because Prince did that with the sheet and like a double behind him, I think. That being said, man, did you guys see that Ryan Garcia stuff on the... Oh, man, I'm worried about him. He seems like he is not well right now. If you don't know who Ryan Garcia is, he's like one of the most famous young boxers coming up. I don't know. He's a young, handsome kid, and he's a really good boxer. His first real big test was last year against Tank Davis, and he got stopped in like the 4th round or something from a body shot. It doesn't matter. He's supposed to have this big fight coming up with another top-ranked boxer, and Ryan's been acting wild lately. He went on Twitter the other day with a bunch of wild stuff he was saying. He said that he was, I'll have to blank it out, but he said he was when he was 2, and that they took him to Bohemian Grove, tied him up, made him watch that happen to other children. And then he got on a Spaces call on Twitter with freaking Andrew Tate, and he didn't sound good. Seems like he's having a mental health crisis. But all that being said, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's certainly possible. Maybe they are just rubbing it in our face, or maybe they just like pulling one over on everybody. Making everybody think it. Somebody said Rock Nation equals Illuminati. Well, it seems like Diddy is Jeffrey Epstein, so maybe. Diddy was the Rap Game's Jeffrey Epstein. Wait, speaking of that freaking douchebag, I used to work at Nobu in West Hollywood. We had a lot of celebrities come in all the time. And one time Diddy came in, and on his we would have little slips for people, especially celebrities and VIPs. They would have like, you know, their favorite dishes, or if they preferred a specific server, or just any kind of notes about them if they've ever been in before. And then like who they are, if they're famous or whatever, so that we know. And the only note we got for Diddy when he came in, it was just him and one other person. I assume it was like an assistant or something. The only note we got for Diddy was not to look him in the eye. Bruh, I don't care who the I don't care who you are, but if you tell me not to look you in the eye, there's zero chance I'm not going to be staring you in the eye the whole time. I'm going to go out of my way to stare you in the eye. I don't... I think this is like a SNL or something in Mexico, but it was like the alien they had in that press conference. That's funny.
Did Justin Bieber and Kourtney Kardashian have a baby together? People think that her third child, Rain, is actually Justin Bieber's biological son and not Scott Disick's. So Rain was born in December of 2014. And 2014 was the peak of like the Kourtney and Scott issues. Like we all know they had a problematic relationship, but this is like the peak of when they were like splitting up and getting back together and splitting up. Also, you might remember when Kourtney was pregnant with Rain, Scott was not happy with her. He was not excited that Rain was being born. And then 6 months after his birth, they split up for good. Kourtney and Justin were spotted a lot in 2015 having like a little fling. So if Rain was actually Justin's kid, they would have had to also be seeing each other during that time in 2014 before she got pregnant. Like when she and Scott were on and off. And for all we know, she was loyal to Scott the entire time. But it is true that when she and Scott would fight, she would try to get him jealous all the time. Like she'd go out and party with guys to get his attention. And it makes you wonder how far she really went to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really give a crap about Kardashian stuff, but I do know that O.J. Simpson is Khloe's dad. I don't fully understand what's mirrored here. That somebody in green, this guy maybe? Fun fact, pentagram wasn't even, wait, let me confirm that. The upside down pentagram wasn't even associated with evil or anything until like the 70s. The Church of Satan it was founded in 1968 and they adopted it and then it became associated with that and then it got banned from schools in the 90s. Yeah, let's start finding it in all of our symbolism and stuff.
The warnings of a time traveler from the year 2671 about 2024 are downright haunting. He has warned us about 4 alarming dates. So save this video so you can keep track of these dates and see if they were right. Let's start with January 23rd.
Let's pass.
On January 23rd, 2024, humanity discovers an underground civilization called the Splitting World, living beneath the Earth's crust, but contact is made through a message declaring their intent to wage war against people on the surface. On March 7th, 2024, an Earth-sized planet is discovered in our solar system that is found to be a mirror version of our world, with opposite gravity, purple waters, and red plants, yet still habitable, making it a bizarre yet intriguing mirror twin to our own Earth. On April 15th, SpaceX successfully developed a method for spaceships to reach light speed only to unexpectedly encounter hostile alien life forms who learn of the breakthrough and want to take the new light engine technology for themselves, posing potential risks. Finally, on June 29th, 197, mysterious statues suddenly materialized in every country around the world, which are then discovered to have been covertly installed by unknown aliens to both observe and frighten humanity, as some kind of social experiment or prelude to an invasion after their leader, Mitch, succeeded in his malign plans against Earth. Comment absolutely if you think any of these will come true.
How are you gonna try to convince me of an alien race that's coming to destroy humanity and their leader's name is Mitch? Like it is March, what is it, 6th right now. And this video is gonna be coming out, it's tomorrow, the 7th? Yeah, this video is coming out March 7th. At least one of those things didn't happen. So dope, dude. January 23rd. What was the next one? March 7th. Oh, dang. That's today. I didn't realize that. I mean, it's tomorrow for me right now, but it's today for when we're all watching this together. But I'm guessing we didn't find a purple planet today because we didn't find an underground space of... I don't know why I'm even giving this time. Let's go to the next video.
In order to understand this lawsuit against P. Diddy, you need to understand the
That's what I
history
said.
of sexual blackmail. A lot of people in the comments are misunderstanding why rap music is so anti-gay. And a lot of people understand the ties of Israel and the Mossad to sexual blackmail by Epstein. But a lot of people don't realize the ties of sexual blackmail back to the invention of sexual blackmail and the Jewish mob. So if you don't know what's going on, Diddy, one of the most influential people in the rap industry over the last 30 years, just got served this court case that alleged all kinds of crimes, including murder and drugs and prostitution, but especially having all of his homes wired with cameras and hosting parties with underage girls, rappers, label executives, celebrities, politicians, and collecting sexual blackmail on tons of important people. Like we're talking Jeffrey Epstein level of operation, but in the music and entertainment industries. But the thing about a court case is that we're only getting the allegations that are in that case, and they're only relevant to what that defendant saw and experienced. And so the bigger picture is not filled in directly. You have to kind of understand the history of this stuff and what each thing might imply about the bigger picture. And that requires an understanding of the history of this stuff. And it's not complicated, and it's a wild story. So, the FBI was founded by J. Edgar Hoover. He actually was the head of the Bureau of Investigation, the BOI, before the FBI was even invented back in the 20s. And he served there for 11 years. Then they invented the FBI, and he served as the head of the FBI for 37 years, totaling 48 years leading what was more or less the FBI. So we're talking like all the way from like the Great Depression through World War II into like the 60s. Like through the 60s music revolution into the 70s. All of that time period, the FBI was led by the same person, and he was one of the most corrupt government officials in all of U.S. history.
Facts.
And understanding the state of organized crime and of law enforcement in America is impossible if you don't know about J. Edgar Hoover. And understanding the nature of sexual blackmail is impossible if you don't know about Meyer Lansky, who was a boss in the Jewish mob back in the 30s, 20s, like the Prohibition days and so on. Meyer Lansky, this Jewish mob boss, basically invented the concept of sexual blackmail. And he did it by sexually blackmailing J. Edgar Hoover, the guy who was explicitly supposed to be taking guys like Meyer Lansky down. The Wikipedia articles are sanitized, but basically Meyer Lansky had a photo of J. Edgar Hoover using his mouth on his main assistant, Clyde Tolson. Realistically, it was his boyfriend. They were a couple. But then, once Hoover was blackmailed, he was like, fuck it, how much worse could it get? And so he started hosting blackmail parties in collusion with these mobsters and inviting all sorts of important people to these blackmail parties to collect his own blackmail. This all happened in what was called the Blue Suite at the Plaza Hotel. And it was basically a bunch of male cross-dressing orgies all caught on camera for like a decade or more. And because Hoover was already blackmailed by the most powerful gangsters in the world, like he didn't give a shit and he just went and hosted them and everybody got blackmail on everybody. But the critical piece to understanding the gay aspect of rap music today and the whole situation back with Hoover is that at the time, remember, Cold War, McCarthyism, like we got to get rid of all the communists. There was what was called the Lavender Scare, which is basically just saying that they were all really worried that gay people would get blackmailed by the Soviet Union. And so it wasn't good to be gay because if you were gay, you could get blackmailed because you wouldn't want anyone to know you were gay. And so don't be gay. And so you should be ashamed of being gay. And so then they'll blackmail. It's like, see, it's like a big circle of how the one creates the other, creates the other, creates the other. Yeah, now think about rap music. All the rappers are super hard and like gay people suck, and then like a bunch of them are gay and they're getting blackmailed about it, and so they rap more about how they're hard and gay people suck, and it creates this little circle. Yeah, the sexual blackmail industry learned early on back in the Cold War that it is much easier to do sexual blackmail in a culture of anti-gayness because gayness is not wildly uncommon. Lots of people are gay. But the more you can stigmatize it and make it a taboo, the more they have to hide it. And the more easy it is to exploit it when you offer this taboo thing to the people that want it. And then the stronger your power over them is when you have them on film doing it. You feel? So, back to our boy Diddy, who founded his record label when he was only 24 years old. Became one of the most successful record labels of the time. He was able to do that because he was financed and supported by his mentor, Clive Davis, who just happens to be gay and rich and Jewish, just like Meyer Lansky was. And at the time, he was one of the most influential men in the music industry. He'd managed all kinds of the biggest name artists that you've ever heard of. And he found this guy, Diddy, on the up and up in one of his companies who we now know from this lawsuit and the other lawsuit filed by his ex-girlfriend Cassie, which is horrific, disgusting, not a good read. We know that Diddy has some real effed up sexual proclivities, as well as just generally probably being at least gay or bi, one of the two. So Clive Davis finds this guy with questionable morals, questionable sexual habits, and ready to go fucking crazy whatever. Like, he's willing to shoot people. He's willing to launder money. He's willing to do crazy drugs. He's willing to do basically anything. This is just me speculating on Clive here, on his motivations, but Clive mentored Diddy, and Clive brought him up, and Clive elevated him to a record executive by helping him found his label, Bad Boy Records. That was Clive's move. He did that. And then Diddy, along with a lot of help from a lot of other people all around him, proceeded to do 30 years worth of sexual blackmail operations within the rap industry and promoted artists that seem to have been ensnared in it, like Usher, for example, like Meek Mills. Hell, even Justin Bieber is like directly in this storyline. And so what you wind up with is a rap industry, a music industry that is full of people that are creating the types of music that the people above them, that the people that hire them, that the people that manage them want them to make. They're all terrified of stepping on the wrong toes or getting out of line or doing what they're not supposed to for one blackmail reason or the other. And we wind up with an entire industry full of musicians that are glorifying gangs and violence and sex and drugs. I mean, think about it. There's no better way to undermine an entire population, an entire race, an entire culture, than to target their kids with subversive messages that they're going to think is cool, and the parents can't say shit about it because then the kids will just think it's cooler. So why would they be doing this, you ask? That's a really good question.
Whoa, and that was another long one. That guy does long ones, but man, his stuff is really good and really well put together. So yeah, if you were wondering on what's been going on with Diddy, that was a great breakdown. Man, I think it was Michael Jackson who said Clive Davis is the devil. I can't help but think about like the Corey Feldman stuff that he was saying a few years back and how messed up his childhood was. And I've had this discussion before, but I am of the belief that Epstein was not a sole actor. I think he was part of a network. I think there's a ton of Epsteins out there. I think I'm not even going to put a number on it. There's too many to count. And in my opinion, I think Diddy was one of these types of people. I think in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to hear a lot more of these like really big mogul type of celebrities come out. And I think it's changing a little bit in rap, that like the whole don't be gay thing. There's a lot more gay rappers coming out. Heard things about a handful of rappers that I won't name here. Story time. One time I was at a party with this girl. Not with this girl. I was at a party and talking to this random girl that was there, and she worked in the music industry, and she told me about 3 different rappers that she knew of that were gay and that the public didn't know about, but someday they would. One of them, this was probably 2016, 2017. One of the rappers she named was Puff Daddy, Diddy Combs, Sean Diddy Combs, who, you know, looking like she might have been right on that one. The second one she named was this rapper. I think it came out, so fuck it, I'll say it. Matt Conan. I'm a big fan of his, love his music, and yeah, she said he was, and then it came out a couple years later that he was. And the third one, hasn't come out yet, but you all know this rapper. He's one of the biggest selling rappers of our generation, if not the biggest. Not Kanye, not Eminem. Your favorite Canadian rapper. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But there you have it, folks. That is another compilation of the wildest TikTok conspiracy theories I can find. Some of those are really good today. It was a good episode. Yeah, check out the merch shop down below. I've got Gym Crew shirts in there. They're dope. I might have put something new in there by now. I don't know. It depends if I had time yesterday or not. If you enjoy this kind of content, go check out the entire playlist of the conspiracy theories reactions. Definitely keep an eye out for my conspiracy theories 101 video that's going to be dropping in the next week or two. Maybe this weekend. We'll see if I can get it done or not. I think I will, but it's going to be a lot. I'll try my best. Don't forget to join me every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 4:15 PM PST for a brand new video. And if you're a member of the channel, you can also join me on Mondays. Same time, same place. And until next time, seek the truth.